I'd like to give a brief introduction, which actually has already been mentioned, but I just want to go a little more in detail. Well, yeah, I'm a Delhi boy. I grew up in New Delhi, India, and middle-class family. After that, I went to Delhi University doing mathematics honors. Then I transferred to University of California and pursued business economics. I specialized in finance. And there I got a job from the Wall Street, from Merrill Lynch Investment Banking. I worked as a financial analyst for a couple of years. But my passion, my dream ever since I was a little child was to be an actor. So I left my job, came back to India, went to Bombay. I didn't know a soul in Bombay because I was from Delhi. And since then I've been here, and it's been almost 25 years that I've been following my dream, my passion, to be an actor. In the process, I've written, directed a film, which is on Netflix. I've recently written a book. I've done theater, films, advertisements, web series, TV series, daily soaps. So I guess I know a little bit about dream success and perhaps happiness, or at least I'm trying to figure that one out. Talking about dreams, my earliest dream was to be an actor. I want to conduct this one experiment if I can, if I may, with you guys. I want you to recall your earliest memory when you were growing up. What is the dream you had? What did you want to be before anything else? The earliest dream. So I would request you guys to just shut your eyes for, say, 5-7 seconds. Think the earliest thing. I wanted to be a doctor, an actor. Some must have thought of something else. So would you do that now? And I'll count till 5, and then you can open your eyes. All right? Let's go. Shut your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you have an idea of what you wanted to be? Would anyone like to volunteer what they wanted to be when they were growing up? The earliest memory they had of a dream. Can anyone volunteer? Okay, we have a silent audience. I see one hand, one courageous girl. Yeah, please. Veterinary doctor, excellent. Anybody else? Oh, there's a lovely one. Yeah? Police officer, excellent. Anybody else? The gentleman? An astronaut, I love you for that. Anybody else? A surgeon. Okay, that's kind of nice demographics we have. But you notice one thing, that all these dreams that you had, and you guys mentioned, an astronaut, a surgeon, a vet, nobody ever said to be the best astronaut. Nobody said they wanted to be the greatest astronaut or a greatest teacher. In fact, that was not part of your vocabulary. At a very young age, this came largely from our parents and society. I'm sure growing up, all of you have heard, be the best. If not the best, try the best. Be the best you can be. And these sound like really nice words, but I call that corruption of a dream. Because somewhere along the line, it shifts focus from your dream to being the best, to coming first, or worse, to be the best you can be. And this, my friends, is a sure shot recipe for frustration, depression, and disappointment. Now, thousands and thousands of years ago, when we all were hunters and gatherers, and we moved in groups of 30, 40, it made a lot of sense if you wanted to be the best at something. But in today's day and age, when the universe is not just those 30, 40 people, it's billions of people. You're actually comparing yourself to a person sitting in Beverly Hills, somewhere else, and actually competing. So the odds of you being the best in the world are kind of, it's not impossible, it can be done, but they're kind of bleak. And even if you have done the best, how do you quantify that this was my best? So again, that is again a recipe for disappointment. It's the glass is always half empty or half full, and you're trying to make it more empty. But the goal that you've set for yourself is a goal you shall never achieve. But this is what our entire society has been built on. To be the best that you can be, or to be the best. As if that was the answer to all problems. Now, I'll share a short anecdote. There was this young boy who wanted to learn how to do Kung Fu. So he goes to a Shaolin temple and speaks to a teacher and says, teacher, I want to be a Kung Fu master. Okay. He says, how long will it take? He said, it'll take about 4 years. He said, 4 years, master? I'll work very, very hard. I want to be the best Kung Fu master. How long will it take? So you'll work really hard? He says, yeah, I won't eat, I won't sleep, I won't do anything, I'll just do that. He said, then it'll take you 10 years. He says, master, I mean, the more I say I'm going to willing to work hard to achieve something, the longer you're saying it's going to take. And the master says, when your one eye is fixed on the goal, it leaves only one eye to find the path. So somewhere along the line of living your dream, you have shifted to being the best in your dream. And that is, my friends, a recipe that you need to watch out for. Next, we come to success. That's a word that's thrown around, especially nowadays. Everyone wants to be successful, whatever that means. Normally, it's considered achievements. Normally, it's considered name, fame, money, recognition, blah, 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 blah. That is success. That's defined. If I was to give you an example, there was a gentleman who, at a very young age, had aimed that by the age of 40, he will be a billionaire. Okay? And he worked hard, and right enough, at the age of 40, he became a billionaire. Would you call that success? Yeah, kind of sounds like it. He wanted to be a billionaire at the age of 40. He became a billionaire. Or maybe he wanted a house in Malibu or Beverly Hills, and he got it. What if I told you that in the process he had 2 broken marriages, he had terminal illness, and his mental health was totally out of the shape? Would you still call him a success? I'll give you another example. When we talk about the greats, the legends, the successful people in creative field, we have people like, that I can think of, say, Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley, or if you were an artist, you probably would think Vincent van Gogh or Mozart, even Steve Jobs for that matter. These are the examples that this world conditions you as the ideals. This is what you need to be. This is where you have to go. But not one of them, apart from Steve Jobs, crossed the age 50. I mean, Elvis died in the 40s. Michael Jackson died the way he died, with a rather tragic life. Vincent van Gogh was in a mental asylum when he died. Mozart died an alcoholic in 30s. Now, you all agree, these are the greats of this world, historically. But not one of you would want to trade places with them. Surely this can't be the idea of success. Yet our parents say, no, come first, get a good job, get a good company, get a good college, come first, as if coming 10th was bad. And there's a logical reason for that. The earlier generation, they came in a world where they were trying to make the necessities meet. Food, shelter, clothing, security for the children. And they were struggling for that. So that's all they knew. My father was an uneducated person. And he made sure that all us children got education because he thought that was the most important thing. But times have changed. But we still follow the same template to be the best, to be good. Only now there is a time where certain people who have accomplished a lot are asking questions, what is the purpose of my life? We hear these stories, so clear the money, name, fame is not the answer to success. But somehow in the earlier generation, for them, that was it. And they assumed that if you had that, you would be happy. Whereas there is no connection. There is this giant leap of faith. If I have this, I'll be happy. It's like saying if I climb Mount Everest, I'm going to love the view. Yeah, maybe you would. Maybe it might suck, right? A few years back, I joined Instagram. I wasn't very active. I joined Instagram. And I was like, I was actually told to because my film was releasing and my PR team said, you have to be on a social media. And I decided, okay. I didn't know what to put, okay? So I just looked around what people were posting. And they were like posting these videos about shooting and getting ready with the makeup and da. I said, okay, if that's what it takes, I'll do it. I did that. And I must have had a couple of thousand followers because I was just starting out. I posted that. And I think I must have got like 50 or 60 or 70 likes or whatever. I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I saw a very interesting video, and I tend to, if I like something nice, I kind of repost it. I saw this very interesting video of a gorilla with his back towards the camera, lying on the floor, scratching his backside. So I was like, oh, that's hilarious. So I reposted that. So I reposted a gorilla lying on his back, on his side, scratching his backside, and that got thousands of views. And that was a reality check for me. Wait a minute, people rather see, a gorilla scratching his ASS as opposed to see me talk, and I consider myself a celebrity or an actor. So that was a reality check that, it's all about numbers, bigger, stronger, faster. That doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. But we judge people on the basis of that. In our industry now, people do casting depending on how many followers you have, as if that means something. So, which brings us to the question, happiness. So, what is happiness? And honestly, if you were to ask that to 100 people, you'll probably get 90 different answers. And most of them would be, I'm not quite sure. But the fact of the matter is, you have not been trained to know what happiness is. You have not been trained to know what will make you happy and how to achieve it. It's not your fault. You go to school, they teach you how to come first. You take classes, they'll teach you how to go in an interview, how to conduct yourself, to get the best job. Nobody trains you about happiness. As if that's a foregone effect. That is the side effect of you achieving these materialistic things. And we know for a fact that the richest of rich people have always invariably said they were miserable. So happiness, my friends, is something to do with expectations. What you expect the life to bring and what the life throws at you. Very relevant nowadays because here in social media with everybody smiling and happy, and I don't know what they're having, honestly. They're happy and behind fancy cars and doors, and you're sitting there thinking, I don't feel like that. Maybe if I got that car, I'll feel like that. You get that car, you still don't feel that way. Because your expectations are being built up in this extroverted world to be a certain way. And if you don't feel a certain way, you feel there's something wrong with you. So expectation is a big, big thing. Brief story. My childhood dream was to win an Oscar because I used to watch these black and white things on television, receiving an Oscar in my hand and thanking my wife. I was 12 years old. Needless to say, I wasn't married, but I always thought that was a great thing to do. I just fancied that. So finally, eventually, I got that opportunity. No, I did not win an Oscar, but I did win quite a few awards for my acting on television. And this fine function, which is considered the biggest function of television, they obviously had told me in advance I was going to win the Best Actors Award. I was right in front with my wife, ready with my speech. Like, yeah, this is my moment. I've practiced in front of the mirror for like 30 odd years. This is it. And so, gradually, awards were given, and finally my turn came, and they said, and the award for the best actor, dramatic role goes to Samir, Soni. Yeah! I was excited. I walked up. As I reached the stage on top, I noticed 3/4 of the audience had gone. True story, true story. They had gone because they had come to receive their awards or their loved ones' awards. There's no reason to stay after 3 hours. They'd gone. I'm like, Okay, interesting. And I make my long walk to the center of the stage. And then by the time the light started dimming, the reason was that the show had extended its stay by another 15, 20 minutes, and they did not have permission. So here I was receiving a trophy with a gentleman walking right in front of me and saying, "Ah, Bablu, gali nikal lo, हाँ, आ रहे हैं." And I received the award and absorbing all this with my entire passion of 30 years, I'm going to give this speech, and the sound was cut off. So I mumbled and I said, "Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thanks to my wife. Because of you, it's happening." And I was thinking, man, what a scam. I waited for this for 30 odd years. This is what I get. Anyway, in a nutshell, if I was to summarize, and you'd probably ask what the summary is, one big takeaway is please ask yourself, is your dream truly your dream? Or is that the dream that is being sold to you by society and your parents and everyone else? Ask that question. Okay, number one. Number two takeaway, the man who's standing on the mountain top on the Everest, who's waving, don't automatically believe he's celebrating. He's probably screaming for help and saying, "No, don't come here. No, it sucks here. Stay there." So don't judge people on what they achieve because you don't know the price they might have paid to achieve that. And thirdly and finally, love will always trump competition. We live in a competitive world. Everything is measured. Even in terms of happiness, it's measured. But if you do something because you love it, the competition with others or with yourself, which is being the best or being the best that you can be, love will trump that. In the end, I finally like to quote a few of my favorite lines. Not my lines, but I forgot who the author was. He who seeks heaven alone to save his soul. Pay attention. He who seeks heaven alone to save his soul may find the path, but will never reach the goal. But he who walks in love may wander far, but the angels will bring him to where the blessed are. Thank you very much.